Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this type of content, I hope you'll subscribe. My name is Heather and this is Southern Gals Crochet. Hi. Okay, so today it is just a recap of what I've been doing for the last couple of days. And I'm going to skip over Friday evening. But Friday evening I did work on something, but it's going to be a surprise. But it's a larger project and it's just for me. It's a pleasure crochet for myself. and but I was right on the money about getting a surprise visit. But I was wrong about who it was going to be. It turned out to be my grandson and his wife and our great grandson, and he is fixing to be 6 years old. And he is such a joy and so well behaved. I mean, just, some kids are just wild and yeah, he has his moments, but he is just enthralled in his little phone games. He has this one game that has music, and the squares come down to the beat of the music, and he has to tap on them as fast as they're coming down. Wow. I mean, I've never seen thumbs move that fast. It was impressive, and he kept getting higher and higher and higher scores, and he was just so thrilled with himself. But I'm guessing it's teaching him the beat and also skills. So he was enjoying himself immensely and wanted me to watch him do it. And so that's basically how that day went. I did get to visit with my grandson a little bit, make sure they're doing all right. Everything's all good. All good, Nana. Everything's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. So they surprised us with about a 2-hour visit, which was amazing because they live 6 hours away. But he was combining everybody, he had several people that he was stopping to see, and we just happened to be lucky enough to be on that list. So I was blown away and so surprised. I was expecting my daughter and my granddaughter, but that was a wonderful, wonderful surprise. And he has lost so much weight. He was well over 300, but he's like 6'4", 5", something like that. But still, he was pretty large, and he is now half that size. It looks like, but maybe not. I don't know. But he's still got a long way to go, but he looks amazing. I was so proud of him. All right. So that's how my Saturday went. We had a pretty good 2-hour visit, and I sat around and worked on my special project some more, and that pretty much took up the day. My special project is in acrylic, so it has been quite the change to using acrylic, double-stranded acrylic with a large L hook. So that was that was different, and I love that large L hook because it's really nice on the hands. It flows. Mine is an acrylic hook, so it just flows in and out of the yarn so wonderfully. I was like, oh, this is a nice little break. but, but then I started watching some videos while I was doing that. And I, I was watching, I believe it was Tracy on Travel Crochet. She has been doing this weekly challenge, Crochet Challenge 2025. And I've been following and I've been writing down what the week's challenge is, but I just never seem to get any time to do it, or can't think what I want to do it. Too many options, you know. Sometimes there are just too many options, and my brain just goes whoop. It zaps out of energy. We're done, and so I just move on from there. But this week, she posted that the challenge, at the end of the video, she posted that the challenge was going to be space, but it had to be in the color red. I sat there and I was thinking, you know, and I went online and I was trying this and trying that and trying to see what the options were. And me, I'm always a weird egg, so I kind of wanted something out of the norm, because I'm just an oddball like that. So I started looking at Star Trek and Star Wars. I thought about doing a lightsaber in red. I thought about that, but I was like, nah, no, that's just too simple. And then I came across, I was thinking about Superman. Superman has a red cape. That the object of the game was to do something in red, which means that at least 90% of it has to be red, right? I would think. And all of a sudden it just dawned on me. I knew exactly what I was going to do. But I could not find a pattern for the life of me. No matter what kind of keywords I used, I could not find any patterns. Nothing. It just blew my mind. I tried on Etsy, I tried on Ravelry, I tried just general Google, you know. It was just not happening. So I had to dream it up on my own. So I'm going to show you my project for week 6 space in red. And I'm a weirdo, so just be prepared. Just be prepared. It's a kryptonite cluster. Kryptonite crystal cluster. For Superman. It's a red kryptonite crystal cluster. And I added beads. I added some lines. I don't think you can really see the glitter, but it's covered in fine glitter as well. I love how the beads are just shining off of the light there. That's awesome. But yeah, that's my project for the challenge. Hubby thought that was awesome. I think it's awesome, because we're just that kind of people. And of course, I got glitter every freaking where. I hate glitter. I don't know what it is about glitter, but just seeing it on surfaces, or I just, knowing it's going to get all over my hands freaks me out. But I did it anyway. This was actually, I found at was it Dollar General. They actually have tubes of glitter glue. And I just put some on my finger and wiped it on like that. And yeah, I'm not getting any on my fingers. So it's on there. And I thought that was amazing. So, yeah, just one more time. One more time. You can see the whole thing. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I love it. Alright. Make sure we ain't got nothing. I was highly impressed with that glitter, the glue. I did buy some powder to sprinkle on, and I made a mess, which really drove me over the edge. And so I was like, I gotta go get some glue, some different kind of glue or something. Anyway, so while I was there, I was like, oh, look at here. All right, and then. Okay, so now we're on Sunday. That was Sunday. I worked on that, but I put that aside because I needed to go to town, and so then I worked on something new. I saw, goodness gracious, I can't think of her name. This girl that's on Reels on Facebook. That I know that doesn't help anybody anyway. No, I'm coming up empty. But she showed some big giant spiders, and I was like, yeah, that's really cute, but that is really big. That's really big. It's from the same lady who did the really large hands. It's called Silly Spiders. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Silly Spider by Jane Art. Crochet by Jane Art on Etsy. And she did some big giant hands, like sticky hands, and so these are big giant spiders. Same concept, with the big long rope. And so I downsized it slightly, and I'll show you my first one. So here is this one. It's small compared to hers. Hers are like the size of your chest. Mine is about the size of one of my boobs. Half of my chest. But anyway, this is the spider. You can barely see the eyes because it's black on black, but maybe later on I might change it up to have some white lining or something on the eyes. But for now, that's just it. And so, yeah, it is quite a bit smaller than hers. And the shape is definitely different, but the concept is hers. Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, that's number one. I started that on Friday. I believe that was Friday evening. I can't keep track. I started that on Sunday evening. And it took me until the next day to finish it because I was writing it down so I can make more than just one, you know. And so anyway, Monday was at least I got something done. On Monday, I finished this, and on Monday, I finished this. So I was finally getting something done, you know? Oh, that was weird. Anyway, so I was finally getting something done. And then, of course, last night and this morning. Last night, I finished one spider and the legs of the other one. So this one I finished yesterday, last night. Oh, I've got a hair bugging me. Oh, it's attached. Oh my god. I so want to cut my hair so bad. Anyway, so here is spider number 2 in orange. And I finished this one up this morning. Like, maybe an hour ago. And one in purple. I think I think the purple might be my favorite one. I think she's probably my favorite. But yeah, 3 of these spiders done. And hubby's like, what's with the handle? I said, why not a handle? You can hang it on something, or you can hang it on your doorknob, or a kid can play with it, you know. Why not a handle? Right? Alright. And let's see. I have been on a pattern buying binge the last couple of days because I've been watching all these videos. bunch of influencers making me buy stuff or put it in my favorites list. Yeah, there's a lot of that too. But let's see what's next. I really need to get some market prep done, but I have just veered off of my list so badly that, and of course I still have all these patterns that I am purchasing and desperately want to make. So I don't know. I know there's one thing I really, really, really want to make, and it is acrylic. Hold on. Apparently, my tablet over here is about to die on me because I neglected to plug it in a couple of days. Anyway, so I've been going down a rabbit hole of crocheters that I used to love back in 2013, you know, or something, in 14, at least a decade ago. And, you know, some really great artists that have pretty much been forgotten in the plushy world. And I guess because I've been playing around with acrylic for most of the week, I really want to do this pattern. And it's not the new gargoyle pattern. It's a very old gargoyle pattern, but extremely detailed. I really want to do it. But I pretty much know that once I do it, I will either keep it or it will be a show piece for my market. I don't, it would take somebody special to take it away from me with big pockets. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, this evening, I'm pretty sure I'm going to work on a koozie for hubby. I have a koozie that I use all the time. It's just acrylic, and I've been using it for probably 3 years now. Yeah, and it's just acrylic with a G-hook, and hubby wants one in black that is twice as tall. So that's on the list of things to do. So it's been a pretty kind of personal week. Like something really fabulous and unique to my secret little project. And now a koozie for hubby. So it's all about us this week. Hey, sometimes you just gotta do stuff that makes you happy instead of just whipping out the market stuff. And at least for me, every once in a while I gotta do something just because I want to, not because I need to. You know. All right. I do have a market this Saturday. I'm kind of holding high hopes that it is fairly decent. In no way is it going to be spectacular, but I'm kind of hoping it will be a little bit more busy than Norm. Norm is maybe 3 sales an hour. Yeah, that's Norm for this particular market. And it's from 9 to 4. But I'm kind of hoping it'll be a little bit more busier than that. Maybe 6 sales an hour. That would be great. But I'm not going to hold my breath because a lot of times I overestimate all kinds of stuff. How much I can do, how accomplished I am at doing it. Yeah. There was just one thing that I wanted to leave with. I've been watching quite a few YouTube videos lately. And I saw this one video where this lady was talking about low sew and no sew and beginner and advanced beginner, and it just got me really thinking, you know, like 12 years ago, I would say at least 12 years ago, maybe even 14, I understood beginner was basic stitches. Just basic stitches. If there was anything more than basic stitches, then it was just a beginner pattern. Advanced beginner had some complicated things, you know, like special stitches, special techniques, but not too many, just like one or two, you know, special techniques. But never in my learnings back then did anybody say anything about sewing, you know, as being part of a beginner or no sew as a beginner. Back then, no sew and low sew was not even words in the crochet dictionary. You know, if you're going to do toys, you're going to be sewing. You know, that was just a given. And that was one of my most difficult challenges, was to learn how to sew on parts properly. And so I was challenging myself all the time, making, you know, placement, pins, and all this, trying to get it perfect. And yeah, I remember a few items that I got really bad wonky, and I definitely cried a little. But wow, the definition of beginner and advanced beginner versus intermediate. Intermediate, when I was starting out, was basically what I did, where it had a lot of pieces and more complicated stitches, and you know, where you were shaping things and stuff like that. You know, those were more intermediate patterns that had all these other special things to it. But nowadays, I have been trying to figure out, do I need to go back and redo all of my patterns to, say, advanced? Because there's so much sewing? I don't know. Because it just boggles my mind how a beginner pattern is not just a basic stitch pattern. It's technically nowadays a pattern that walks you through how to crochet. And that just blows my mind. I don't know. You guys tell me, if you are a designer, how do you determine what is a beginner, advanced beginner, intermediate, and advanced? Because I think I'm struggling on this, because my old-fashioned knowledge apparently is not working in today's world. So, let me know what you think. Alright, I gotta go. If you've been here this long, I am so glad you hanged out with me, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.